going live. I have been going live for almost an entire year. I'm at a year. I'm over a year. I've been going live quite often for almost a year. And still to this day, I'm still not repeating subjects, repeating any other things I'm teaching. Part of that is because of you all. You all bring me questions, and then I go back to the, hey, Aida, we go back to the drawing board and we relook at that grief. I look at that grief and I make a lesson out of it and we show it different. And so part of it is that. But last few days to get this, I actually just got the draft for the new one. And I've got to check that out and give him all of the changes. And then it will no longer be free. If you haven't done so, download that grief shit. Click my picture, click on the click here for hope. And that's where you can find this. As I said, my name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm the owner of the Grief School. Today, we're talking about the myths of moving on. Everyone keeps saying it. You have to move on. Move on, they keep saying. Move on. I don't know why I made the N capital, but let me ask you a question. Doesn't that sound rude? Haven't you moved on yet? Why haven't you moved on? Everyone keeps saying you have to move on. But what if that was the biggest lie you've ever heard? What if that was the biggest lie you were ever told? You don't move on from someone you love. You move with them. You move with them. You don't move on from someone you love. You move with them. You carry their love forward into what it really means to heal. Let me put on my right glasses so that I can see my own notes. Tonight we're going to be going deeper, and we're going to talk about what it really means to heal after loss, but we're also talking about the myth of moving on. Why getting over it isn't one of the ways. He would want you to move on. Ugh. How do they know? Hey, Beth, welcome. How do they know he would want you to move on? They're also telling you, okay, so I'm gonna write yours, Becky. He would want you to move on. He would want you to move on. How do they know? Right? This to me equals get over it. Think about that. Why don't you just get over it? Get over it. That's crazy. Okay. Why getting over it doesn't work, and how to start integrating your person's love into your life. If you're feeling stuck and in the in-between, which is what we talked about last night, being in the tween, half of you are stuck in your old life of what it used to be like to be with him, and the half of you is in the new part. Maria says, it's been a year already. It's time to move on. It's been a year. I hope you're not telling me that. I hope you're telling me someone said that. It's been a year. Let me also address that. It's been a year. Move on. It's been a year. It's been a year. I'm going to use my own. It's been 1 year. It's been 1 year. Austin died in 2006. He drowned at the lake. He was 10 years old. Austin drowned at the lake. He was 10 years old. He was born in 1996. I was with his mom through the whole pregnancy. So I'm going to say that I had an 11-year relationship with him. Hey, Flower Girl, did you get my text message today? I had an 11-year relationship with him. It's been a year. It's been 1 year. So I have an 11-year relationship with Austin, and you expect me in less than a year to move on. Friends, it is not going to take me 11 years to grieve from Austin. It is not going to take me 11 years. Awesome. Thank you. It's not going to take me. I signed on. I was there, girl. I didn't know it was you, but I was there. And you were on my list to text, and then I saw your message. Okay. It's not going to take me 11 years to grieve Austin. But 1 year? Mm-mm. Let me change that. Let me also change that. She said it's been 1 year. My dad was 76 years old. That's my dad. I was 53. You think I'm going to be over a relationship with someone that I had for 54 years? Do you think, honestly, that I'm going to be get over it? I'm going to move on just because you said it's been 1 year. So, well, if you said it, I should just move on. What the hell am I doing here? I need to move on. I need to move on to my new life. You don't move on from love. You don't move on from love. You grow through it. You don't move on or get over grief. You grow through it. You grow through it. And it is really hard. They have no concept of grief time. Most people who have never grieved have no concept of grief time. They have no concept of grief time or grief pain. You're correct. You're absolutely right. So last night we talked about the tween, the space where you don't know who you are anymore. The space where you don't know who you are anymore. That's the tween, right? The moment your event happens, you get stuck. You get catapulted into the before, your life before, and your life after. Your life after is the now, but we're also in the in-between, right? This is where all the work happens, in the in-between, right? So that's what we talked about yesterday. You are not who you were. This girl, she doesn't exist anymore. Now she's here trying to figure out what to do so that she can get into the after. This is where the love gets carried on all the way through, but really we carry it on in the after. Thank you, Miss Becky. Tonight I want to build on the lesson that we talked about last night. One of the most damaging messages that we get while we are still living in the between, most of the time you're getting this message while you're here, while you're still living there, is the myth that you're supposed to move on. The world says it like it's a finish line. Girl, you're not over this yet? Because you don't get over grief. You grow through it. You grow through it. And when you hear someone say move on, what does that feel like in your body? When you guys hear someone say to you, just move on, what does it feel like in your body to hear someone tell you to move on? What does it feel like in your brain? What does your heart feel like? Does it make you angry? Does it make you want to throat punch? Does it make you feel unseen? Maria says it makes her feel devastated. It feels like betrayal. It feels dismissive. It feels like, stop it. It makes me so angry. Yes, you absolutely feel unseen. Karen says it makes her feel angry. Friends, I'm telling you, they don't know what to say. And when you show up in your normal grieving way, they don't know what to do with you. It's not that they don't care about you and they don't love you, but they truly don't know what to tell you. Aida says it makes me want to scream. The people tell you to move on, they mean well. Look at that. Is that Casper? They mean well, but they don't understand that your old life ended the day your person died. They don't understand that your heart broke, And here your brain is trying to figure out what's going on. They don't understand it because a lot of them, it hasn't happened to them. Hey, EK. Grief is tough, especially if you're dealing with complex grief and when you lose multiple loved ones. Absolutely. Hear me out. You didn't even have to add all of that. Let's just say the first one. Grief is tough. Grief is tough. Then I add in other losses on top of those. I add in other losses on top of those. Absolutely. Thank you, EK. You don't move on from something that changed, something that has you feel broken. When I tell you that the shape of your soul has been changed, you're not going to move on to that from that. Who were you before the loss, and what parts of your person do you still miss today? The myth of moving on creates a false picture of healing. When people tell us that we can move on, I want to also say this, and I have to be careful with that. There's a lot of you that say this to yourselves. You tell yourself to move on. There are a lot of you out here who think that you can just move on, that you can just go through the loss, do the funeral, plan the funeral, and simply move on. Suzanne says you're forever changed, but you're not forever broken. Maria says the loss of the person and the person you were and also could have been exactly the person that you could have been. When people tell you that, it makes you feel like there's a way to do that. There's a way to move on. It makes you believe that the only way to be okay is to just let it go. Stop talking about them. Just act like you're fine. Just smile. But that's not healing. That's pretending. Healing isn't about closing the door on your love story. It's about learning to live differently inside of it. Moving on suggests that grief is something that you finish. When they tell you to move on, it sounds like it has this finish line that you just keep pretending, and that's okay. What I teach you is that grief is something that you work at. We work at the grief pain, but we integrate the love. Let's talk about what it means to carry this pain, to carry the pain versus carrying the love. Two different things. Carrying the pain is what happens when you fight the reality of the loss. Did you guys hear what I said? Carrying the pain is what happens when you fight the reality of the loss. If you refuse to do any of the grief work, if you push back against it and you pretend that you're okay, you're going to live in the pain. Carrying the pain is what happens when you fight the reality of the loss. You live in the replay. Your brain circles around the memory over and over again. You're holding your breath. You're holding your breath every time you think of them. And you brace yourself every time a memory comes. The pain feels like you're walking through a life dragging 1,000 pounds behind you. And the worst part is you don't think anyone even sees you. You start to think they don't even care about you anymore. Aren't people asking me, don't they even care? Carrying love is different. Carrying love is different. Look at me, I'm messing up it's 1,000 pounds. You're carrying it. You're not talking about it. You're pretending that you're okay. You're smiling at everyone. You're taking every freaking invitation that comes your way. You're doing all of the things. You're cleaning. My masterclass begins on the 18th. I'm going to talk about that tonight. You're cleaning out the garage. You're cleaning out the drawers. You're doing all the things, but the thing. You're over here in the 1,000-pound pain all the time. Nobody's talking about it, so you're just, okay. Carrying the love. It's lighter because the loss disappears. It's lighter because you stop resisting. You begin to remember them with the tenderness instead of the torment that you're putting yourself through. The memory stops stabbing you and it starts softening you. Look at the heart. It's lighter, it's cuter, it's funner, it's bigger. Right now, I want to ask you a question. Right now, what moment of the memory still feel too painful to touch? Which moment in the memory still feel too painful to touch? Are you able to think about the last time you kissed? Are you able to hold their hand? Think about the last time you held hands. Are you thinking about the last time you made love? Are you thinking about the last time you sat together? Are you thinking about the last time you guys laughed? When was the last time you absolutely told jokes to each other and it felt really good? What part of the moments in the memories are too much? How many times do you go back to the memories, but you just can't feel it? You just don't understand. You can't wait. You can't just sit in that memory because it's too painful. How many of you are talking about the memory? Do you talk about the memories? Are you able to share about the memories? Or do you just walking around acting like they didn't exist? So there's some great questions. They're great questions to think about when we're grieving. There's a difference between carrying the pain and carrying the love. Hear me out. In the beginning, we're all doing this. We're all carrying the 1,000 pounds. We are all carrying the 1,000 pounds until we cross over into the after. And we can remember them and we can talk about them and we can share about them. Absolutely 100%. Carrying love is different because it's lighter. When you move through the between, you start to understand that your goal is not to erase what happened. I never want you guys to go back and think you have to forget. Forgetting is not the thing. That's not where I'm trying to get you to. You remember them. You will always remember them. They will always be with you in your heart. I'm not a magician. Look at this. Wait a minute. Let me get my magic pencil that's never been sharpened. Bippity boppity boop. Now you forgot your person. Now you can go on and live. What the heck? That's what people really think I'm going to do. They think I'm going to get a magic pencil and I'm going to bippity boppity boop you, and boom, your memory of your person is going to be gone. And when I forget them, then my heart won't hurt anymore. You know how I know this? Because this was me. I thought that maybe if I forgot about him, then the pain would go away. But who was going to help me do that? That's not what we do. That's not what we do. We have to go into the brain. We have to do the brain work. You have to do your intellectual grief work. But more importantly, you have to do your heart work. You have to do the work on your broken heart. Your heart work is your homework. You got to get in there. You got to look at it. You got to look at every moment that's missing, everything you still needed, all of the things you didn't have, all of the time you didn't have. We have to look at that. And what's your thought about those things? What's your thought about all the time you didn't have? Your future, your past, your present. The goal is to let it become a part of you, all of it come together. Let's make it a part of you, all of it. This is what I mean when I'm talking about integrating. We integrate the grief. We look at the grief, we break it down, we go through the grief, we look at every thread of it, every fabric of your life. We go through it. It's still there, but it doesn't connect to the pain. I take a scissor to the pain and we cut the pain, but every thought, every memory, everything about your person is still there, but the pain isn't there. It's the part of your story. It's not your whole story. It is a chapter in your book. Stepping forward with your person in your heart means you are done trying to live like they never existed. How many of you are out here pretending like they never existed or just ignoring it? Just simply ignoring it. When I tell you there are hundreds of thousands of us doing that, there are hundreds of thousands of us doing that. Think about that, friends. You guys are all grieving. Think about acting like your person never existed, trying to live in a world where your person never existed. Stepping forward with your person in your heart means you are done trying to live and pretending. You're ready to exist. You bring them with you. Not just their death, but their love. Not just their love, but their story. You bring it with you. Stop allowing people to tell you to get over it and move on. Ike says, my person is acting like I never existed, and it's so hard. And that is absolutely true. When we're talking about the breakup of a romantic relationship or divorce, we look at the way they are doing their grief work, and it starts to affect us. My heart to yours, love. You let your lessons shape how you love others. Listen, you let your lessons in this grief shape how you love others. You bring them with you. Lisa says, I'm doing better. Hey, Lisa. So, for example, you might cook their favorite meal. You might listen to their songs. You might read some of their love letters. You might tell their stories to someone else. But you start living again. And every time you do one of those things, listening to their voice on a voice recorder, reading their love letters, rereading their text, it doesn't break you down. If you've done this work right, that should not break you down. Okay, what is one small way that you can carry your person's love forward this week? What is one small way you can carry your person's love forward this week? Hi, Summer. Or not doing their grief work. Yeah, exactly. Not doing their grief work. That's what I thought I said. Is this a daily stream? Gotta jump. It's in the join the Facebook group, the grief school. It'll be in there. Thank you, Maria. I keep trying to be super busy to avoid. Yeah, that's just avoiding. I keep trying to be super busy to avoid the pain, but I know I have to face it. I miss my mom. So one of the things that the thoughts will tell us is to keep busy. It'll tell us to move on. We tell ourselves to move on. We don't just hear other people say it. We tell ourselves to keep busy. We tell ourselves to just give it time. However, we never tell ourselves how much time. Keeping busy. Here's the thing about keeping busy. Miss Holly, it's amazing. Keeping busy is amazing. I love keeping busy because you know what? It absolutely works. Here's the thing about keeping busy. It absolutely works until it doesn't work anymore. At some point, this grief is going to catch up to you. You can only keep busy for so long. All of these are lies that we've been told. They're lies that we've been told about our grief. What's one small thing that you can do this week to carry your person's love forward? I have a necklace with her thumbprint on it and a birthstone. I can hold on to it. I love it. Listen to Ian's voice daily and read his emails. I love it. There's familiarity and comfort in the memories. There is when you're ready to go there, right? The reason moving on feels so wrong is because it's too small for something this big. Don't move on from a love that shaped your life. That is so true. The reason move on feels wrong is because it's small. It's so little compared to how big our love is. Our life was so big with them, and they expect us to move on, to do this little thing called moving on. You take it and you take your memory with them into every room, into every season, and to every new beginning. Everything. You take them with you. You're at the wedding of your nephew. and you're thinking about him, he goes with you. You're at the baby shower of your niece, he goes with you. You take him with you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, there you are. Because you take your broken heart with you. You take your broken heart with you. But why do you have to take all of this pain? You can take the memory. EK says you move on when you were a child and you don't get the toy you want. Right. But okay, that is a great point. Our parents also teach us that, right, at a young age. Hey, oh, I'm so sorry the dog died. On Saturday, I'll get you a new dog. On Saturday, we'll get a new kitty. We'll go get a new whatever it is. Oh, they stole your bike? Don't worry, Grandma will buy you a new bike. So a lot of times what happens, we're learning, replace the loss, which is also a lie. We learn to replace the loss. We're told to replace the loss. Now, when we need this energy the most, learning how to grieve, we're told to do the same thing, replace the loss. You build a future that honors your life without them in it. The grief pain vanishes. You mature in your grief. The pain transforms until it is gone. You have compassion for yourself. You have love for yourself. When you understand that grief isn't about just moving on, you stop comparing your healing to other people's timelines. She's doing so well. Why am I not like that? How come she's doing so well? Half of it might be that she may not be doing well at all. She's just faking the funk better than you. Right? Have you ever thought about that? Maybe she's not really healed in her grief. Maybe she's just doing it better than you. Stop apologizing for tears. Stop apologizing for your pain. Stop trying to prove that you're okay to people that you don't know, that you really don't care about, that aren't going to make a difference, one bit of difference in your grief. Healing is not measured by how long it takes. You don't love them more. Your heart is not bigger because your healing took longer. It's just more painful because your healing took longer, because you didn't do the things you needed to do. It's not measured by how long. It's measured by how deeply you love them. No, you cannot replace the loss. But think what I was showing you is that we get taught that even from a young age. She was talking about toys and moving on from the toys, which I think is a great example. But it's also that we're taught to, when our parents teach us to replace a lot, we think we can keep doing this replacing thing. Granny said, it shouldn't be measured at all. You're right. It shouldn't be measured, but they do. So now what do we do with it, Granny? It should not be measured 100%, but it is. We measure ours against someone else. They measure theirs against us. And then they start giving advice. And they give terrible advice. And I mean a society. The truth is, the only way out of this pain is right through the center of it. You can't avoid it. You cannot numb it enough. I don't care how much wine you drink. You can't fast forward through it. You've got to turn and face it. You've got to look at the broken heart. 100%. You've got to look at it. You've got to look at it. There is no timeline. I agree with you. But when you do, it starts to loosen, because when you start to tend to the pain starts to loosen around the hole that it has on you. That's how you know you're moving through it and not moving on, because you're tending to it. Is there one part of life that has started to come back for y'all? All of y'all that are grieving, what is something small that has been coming back for you? Are you able to hear their voice? Are you able to look at their letters? Can you look at their handwriting? Can you talk about them? Can you say their name? What is the one small area that you see coming back? And we have to measure those areas. You know why we have to measure them? Because sometimes we think we're still stuck in the grief. This is awful. I'm still stuck in the grief. Yet some of the grief has shifted and we're not allowing the shift. We're not acknowledging the shift. We have to acknowledge it all, including the shift. Hey, friends, my name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm the owner of the Grief School. Dee Diesel says she can say his name. I can talk about him, says Becky. The Grief School is the place where healing begins. If you're watching me on TikTok, click my picture, and go to click here for hope. There you're going to find this free Griever's Guide. Yeah, it's not a Griever's Guide. Why did I say that? It's a workbook. And it's there for you to have. It's there. The workbook, that grief shit. I wrote a book called Grieve That Shit. It's coming out at the end of the month. This is one of the workbooks that goes along with it. It is free until the end of this week. And so if you haven't done it, I want you guys to download that grief shit. This is all of the shit about grief. All of the shit about grief. But I give you an actionable tool, which is a brain dump, which I absolutely love. I'm listening to full songs now. I couldn't before. Wow, Monette, that's awesome. And somewhere it feels like it's just happened too. I love that. I love that, EK. Okay. If you're not following me, I have a podcast that's been out since 2018. It's called Grieve That Shit. You can follow the podcast. In the early stages of the podcast, I was with my sister Erica. So you'll hear Erica. Erica's the mother of Austin and Donovan, the boys that died. We talk about everything under the sun. So, grief is something that you finish. It is something that you learn to walk through. The love that caused the pain, the love will never go away. And that's the best thing I can tell you, because the love is what you carry forward. It will guide you towards the after, where peace finally has room to live again. The love is where you talk about them, where you share about them, where you really get to move the grief. Friends, don't let anyone tell you to move on. You need to keep moving with honesty, with love, with their memories, and with hope. Hope that this will change, because it does change. It does change. That's what living through the tween teaches us. You're not broken. You're grieving. All right. I came up with some things I feel like each grieving woman needs to know. You're not supposed to go back to who you were. I say you never go back, but you're not supposed to go back. You're not supposed to go back to who you were. I'm not going to go back to being Austin's aunt. I am Austin's aunt. I'm not going back to something that is not really true. It's not there. Monette says it's because we can't. But yes, you're right. You are not supposed to go back to who you were. But a lot of us want to. We sure as hell try to. We try to figure out a way. That version of you that lived in the before, she doesn't exist in this world. That doesn't exist anymore. Grief changes you. At the cellular level, grief changes you. And you can't do that. You can only grow into the woman who you are becoming. And that's who you are in the after. I want you to ask yourself, what part of the old me am I still trying to bring back? What part of the old me am I still trying to bring back? Number 2, moving on doesn't equal forgetting. A lot of us think that moving on means I'm going to forget them. That is not true. You don't heal by erasing them. I'm not coming in here with a magic eraser. You heal by remembering every freaking aspect of them. Every aspect of them. You will always miss them, but the missing them won't always hurt as much. I promise you. Your love doesn't die. The pain dies. The grief transforms. How do you want to remember your person? How do you want to remember your person? In the after, you will carry both love and grief. You carry both of the love and the grief. I said in the after, in between. You're carrying the love. The grief is there. We are going after the grief. This is the part we go after. This is the part we try to remove. This is the part that we work on. We work on the grief pain and we suck it out. And what you're left with is the love. You carry both grief, both the love and the grief, and we suck out the pain. You also carry the love and the joy. In the after, you can actually see joy. One doesn't cancel out the other. They both exist for a while until we suck out the pain. We move through grief, not past it. We move through grief, not past it. Not over it, not around it. Okay, so this is grief. If this is grief, you cannot, you, yourself, look at, I made your legs crazy, right? You cannot go over it. You cannot go under it. You cannot go under it like so. You cannot go around it. You cannot trick it and go this way. It's in you. It's in you. You got to go right through the center of it. You got to go right through the center of the grief. You got to talk about it. You got to talk about the grief. Love the through. You've got to go through it. And I can't even save you from that. I cannot even take that from you. I cannot save you from that. You've got to go through it. You can't rush it. You can't outsmart it. Grief demands that you live through it. And if you are over here trying to sneak around it, it is going to find you every time. Everywhere you go, it is going to find you because it's looking for you. Here's the other thing about the grief. It will go lay dormant. It will go lay dormant. It will lay dormant and act like it was never there until you most need it. The day you get the flat tire, the day you get the bill, the day you realize you don't have the money to pay for that thing, then all the grief will come flooding forward. What part of your grief are you fighting instead of facing? What part of your grief are you fighting instead of facing? The healing is yours. It belongs to you, not me. It belongs to you, not me. You are the ones that have to make the decision. You make the decision to do the grief work with your brain, and then your heart follows along. No one else gets to decide if you get to get over it, if you're going to go over it, if you're going to try to sneak under it. No one but you. And you don't owe anyone your recovery story. You don't. You get to take as long as you need. You get to take as long as you need. Grief has no expiration date. If you don't do this grief work and you walk out of here badass as possible, I'm going to say, I love you. I'll see you next time. And I walk on the boulevard on Main Street and I see you and you see that crazy bald-headed lady and you're like, that's that Sharon girl. And you walk up and I haven't seen you in 10 years. Let me tell you something. You're still going to be grieving. Not only are you still going to be grieving, I will be able to touch the exact spot of that grief just by asking a couple of questions. It doesn't go away unless you do the work. You've got to do the work on the pain. Here's the other thing. The world has been lying to us. They've been telling us we're going to stay like this for the rest of our life, that grief never goes anywhere, that you're stuck in this pain. And that, my friends, is not true. It's not true. Hey, Linda Lou, you don't owe anyone your recovery story. You get to take as long as you need, and I'm okay with that because it has no expiration date. Whose timeline are you trying to meet anyway? It's yours. Here's the other thing. This grief is yours. You can carry it around gently and set it down every place you go. You can walk into the room and go, this is my grief. Yeah, I brought it with me. Oh yeah, girl, where can I put this? You can live like that, or you can do the work and dump the grief and go back to living your life with them intact with you. Whose timeline are you trying to meet? Yours or someone else's? Here's the truth about moving on that isn't real. What is real is moving with. You move with their memory. You move with their love. You move with the lessons they left behind. They taught you a lot of things. You build a new life that honors the old one. You build a new life that honors the old one. You're honoring your person. You breathe again, not because the pain is gone, but because you've learned to live with the love, and the loss will dissipate. That's not moving on. That is healing. 100%. That is healing. That is healing from a broken heart. All right, friends. Lori says, I'm still in disbelief. I know he's not here, but a part of my brain can't accept it. My nervous system is tricking me. Yes, Miss Lori, that's absolutely true. Lori says, hi, Sharon. Yeah, hey, Lisa. She said it takes some time. It does take time, but it's what are we doing within the time? Miss Lori, my heart to yours. Truly my heart to yours. Your nervous system will try and trick you, 100%. Okay, a couple of things. We had such a powerful grief study hall today. We had a powerful grief study hall. There were 20 beautiful women in there. Grief study halls every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you would like to join Grief Study Hall, you go to my bio, you click the picture, and then click the link that says click here for hope. And then you sign up. Annie says, I'm like Lori, my heart to yours. You sign up for the Grief Study Hall. It is not recorded. I can't record it. It's too personal. I can't. So you have to come live. That's what I can do there. All right. Annie says, Tuesday, go to the bio and sign up. Yes, correct. Angie says, it took me 3.5 years to move on, but that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about moving on. We're talking about actually doing the work. EK said it was great today. Me says, I lost my mom, dad, and 2 brothers and my husband, all within days of each other. My heart to yours, me. Truly my heart to yours. You're very welcome, Summer. So, Grief Study Halls every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, right? I am going to be back tomorrow in the Facebook group. If you guys have not, TikTok, you don't have to leave. I'm not jumping off. If you have not joined the Facebook group is, it's called the Grief School. And I'm going to be live in the Facebook group on Thursday. Is that right? Is that right, Suzanne? Yes, I'm going to be live in the Facebook group Thursday at 10 a.m. I'm going to be live tomorrow morning at 9. It's called the Grief School. Absolutely. Live in the Facebook group on Thursday at 9 a.m. I'm going to be back live here on Thursday night at 6. I'll be back here Thursday night at 6. And tomorrow I'm going to do a little teaser in the morning. Okay. Coming up on October 18th. Keep a lookout for it. I looked in there. She didn't attach the page, but it's coming up. So it may be at midnight tonight. The Surviving the Holidays. Last year, I gave up all of my Sundays. I didn't give them up. I loved you guys. I really loved you, and I helped you walk through. And I thought it was a bit much. So this year, I'm doing it differently. I'm doing 3 Saturdays. 3 Saturdays of Surviving the Holidays. Starting on October 18th. It will be ready to go tomorrow. When I do the teaser tomorrow, it will be ready to go. So tomorrow I'm launching the grieving through the holidays, October 18th, November 8th, and December 6th. On October 18th, we're breaking down Halloween and Thanksgiving. What is your Thanksgiving grieving plan? What is your Thanksgiving grieving plan? What are you going to do for Thanksgiving? So we're doing a 2-hour masterclass. I'm going to teach for 1 hour, and then we're going to open up the floor and do a grief share. I'm going to help you with the plan. We're going to create a plan. What are the boundaries you need to be set? How much drinking are you planning on doing? What are you going to wear? What traditions are you keeping up for Thanksgiving and for Halloween? Are you struggling right now as you walk through the neighborhood and you see everyone has a graveyard set up in their front yard? Is that causing pain for you? That's what we're going to be talking about on October 18th, coming up with our plan for Thanksgiving. On November 8th, we're going to talk about how to survive Christmas. Because I don't know about you guys, but they already have Christmas decorations up out here. Every Christmas decoration, the commercials are coming. They're coming, my friends. The commercials are coming. And every single one of those commercials are going to touch our heart. The tiny skeletons are so triggering. The holiday songs, all of those things are coming. We have to get ready. Annie says Walmart is already set up. We have to get ready. So what are you doing to survive the holidays? October 8th. Hey, Miss Sarah. On November 8th, we're going to be doing Surviving Christmas. Coming up with our plan for Christmas. What are we going to do to get through Christmas? I hosted Thanksgiving for 20 years. I want to avoid Thanksgiving and Christmas completely. That is part of the plan. You can do that. We can do that. But let's talk about how you're going to do it. How are people going to handle that? Me says, all the commercials I hate. All the commercials I hate. Is a calendar on you. December 8th, I keep saying the days wrong. December 6th, we're going to talk about the new year, new you. The calendar is not in the bio yet. It'll be in tomorrow morning. I launch tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It will be in the bio tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It will all be in there. Each class is $19, or you can buy all three for $47. I suggest you buy all three for $47. That's 6 hours. That's 6 hours of training. Each and every one of those will be 2 hours each. And they're on Saturday at 11. If you purchase them, you will get the replay. If you purchase the package, the $47 package, you get the replay for forever. If you purchase them by one at a time, you get them for 7 days. Flaw Girl says the holidays have already been hard. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Yes, yes. Yes, my love, my heart to yours. Truly my heart to yours. Friends, the holidays are going to be hard. They are going to be hard, I guarantee you. But hard doesn't mean undoable. Can you avoid the holidays and not do the holidays? Yes, but let's talk about the plan for that. How's family going to accept that? What are they going to say? What boundaries do you need to set up? What about the family? What about your whole family showing up and being mad that you're not doing the holidays? What about the whole family showing up and drinking a ton? There are a lot of things we need to talk about. What are you going to do when you're hungry, when you're tired, right? When you're grieving? I give you a plan for that. How to show up when all of that is happening. We're going to break all of that down in the masterclass and more. You're going to get a plan. You're actually going to get notes to put on the front of your refrigerator to remind you. Just like the 12 days of Christmas, but it's going to be the 12 days of grieving. I'm going to remind you things that you need to do. I'm going to make a list that you can print out and put on your refrigerator. All right, friends. If you haven't done so, follow me on this page. If you haven't done so, follow me at the Grief School. If you haven't downloaded that grief shit, you want to do that now, because that will no longer be free at the end of this week. All right, everybody who's here on the Facebook page and the YouTube, I love you. Thank you. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Have a great day. And don't forget, we're launching the holiday. Surviving the holidays and special days. I'm even going to